Alright boys, welcome back to another video. So today we're talking about the Knicks 110-96 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. This was a big time win. We're still without OG, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson. Of course, no Joel Embiid, which certainly helped us out. But overall, I was impressed at the end of the game when the Knicks were running 4 guards and Precious, and they were able to show a different side of the Knicks, and that's when Precious is not going up against a big and small ball lineups, the Knicks can be very successful. And I think come playoff time, that's going to be a huge weapon for us, because we talk about that OG trade and we immediately think of OG because we were unbeatable literally with him out there. But it's also Precious, his ability to get rebounds, to block shots. He's got good touch, he can pass. Precious has been big for us. I like him a lot. Tonight, he played 38 minutes, had 18 points and 11 rebounds. I mean, every single game to this point, it's like he's grabbing a double-double. He was a plus 15. Just a very good player, man. Fits our system well. But it's also Josh Hart, 44 minutes, 18 points, 12 rebounds. I don't know about you guys, but after last playoffs, when we fell short to the Heat, I was thinking to myself, how much would I be willing to pay Josh Hart? Because obviously we need him, and ever since the trade with the Blazers, we were a much better team. But he is a role player, and I was thinking, is he going to be worth the money he's going to command? The answer to that is absolutely. 18 points tonight for Hart. Like I said, 12 boards, double-double. Shot the 3-ball well, 2 of 5. Attacked the basket, played good defense. 3 assists, had a block shot. Hart always brings us that energy. And before the Knicks got him last year, it just seemed like we were missing that spark, and immediately Hart brought it. And of course, he's got some spot starts for us, and he's just stepped in big. I mean, without him, we definitely would not be in this position. And then speaking of Villanova Wildcats, Dante DiVincenzo had 16 points, 6 of 15 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3. Dante is not afraid to shoot it, and that's another thing that reminds me of the playoffs. I feel like we had too many guys out there that were afraid to shoot it, that just didn't have the confidence, and there isn't a shot on the court. Doesn't matter if it's from 35, 36, Dante is letting it fly, contested or not. Not exactly the greatest creator, but that's not what we need. We need guys that can shoot the ball, that can defend, that are smart players, that can move without the ball. And Dante can get to the basket as well. He's another guy that has good touch. So these pickups, Hart, DiVincenzo, Achua, Bogdanovic, who I'll talk about in a second here. Like, these guys, fantastic pickups. We're a significantly better team than we were last year in the playoffs. And we go up against the Celtics on Saturday, prime time. So we're going to get a good look of who we really are. Now, obviously, we don't expect Randall and OG to be out there, but still, this is a big test for us, man, to see where we're truly at. But yeah, let's talk about Bogdanovic, because I did want to get into him. So 22 points tonight, 6 of 6 from 3. Unbelievable player. Of course, Bogdanovic came over in that Pistons trade. We also got Alec Burks. The thing with him is that he just moves without the ball well. He sees the game. He's very similar to DiVincenzo. But of course, Bogdanovic, I mean, he came over averaging 20 a game from the Pistons, and it seems like he's been rejuvenated going to a contender. I mean, it makes sense going from the Pistons to just about anyone would do that, but the Knicks are a team that right now, they're 4th in the East. They've got as good of a chance as anyone in this conference, and Bogdanovic has seen just a lot more juice. You could tell when he goes to the basket, he's got these moves, and he just seems a lot more fired up. And I've been happy with the pickup. I mean, the Knicks definitely had an amazing trade deadline. They didn't exactly need to go out there and bring in a DeJounte Murray or someone of that caliber. They just needed a couple of pieces off the bench that can step up and make shots. Alec Burks is another one of those guys. Played just 13 minutes, but had 7 points. That's pretty big. If we're getting 13 minutes and 7 points from the last guy on our bench and our rotation, we're doing something very well. Pleased with that. Jalen Brunson, haven't called his name yet. The reason for that is he was 5 of 18, but if you saw this game, you would know that Brunson came up with some huge defensive plays. He had 12 assists. The turnovers were killer, 7 of them, but 11 of 11 from free throw line. I mean, this is just about as bad as you'll see Brunson play, and he had 21-12 and didn't miss a free throw of his 11 attempts. So Brunson clearly should be in the MVP conversation, and it just was weird, man. He was just so uncharacteristic, but I bet a lot of that had to do with All-Star Weekend. Him coming off of that, it's going to take him maybe a couple of games to get back into the rhythm, or maybe one game. I wouldn't be surprised if next game Brunson is the same 30 points per game guy that I'm so used to. I mean, I think he's like 27.5 on the season, but yeah, Brunson came up big and we needed him to, and that's all you can ask for out of him. Isaiah Hartenstein, didn't see much of him. 11 minutes, 2 rebounds. That was it, and he had a steal, and then we just didn't see him. So it was mostly just Precious and Jericho Sims, who played 18 minutes. Sims he was fantastic in this game. He had 10 rebounds, scored 4 points, of course, had that vicious putback dunk that you guys saw in the beginning of this video. Sims can get rebounds, and when I say get rebounds, that's kind of an understatement. He dominates the boards because of his size. I mean, Sims, he goes 6'10", 250, and he probably has a 40-inch vertical. Do not quote me on that, but I'd bet a lot of money that Jericho Sims has a 40-inch vertical. So you put that together, 6'10", with that type of bounce. I mean, he's just an unbelievable athlete. And when he was on the floor in this game, we just looked much better. He was a +5, but still, I mean, Sims, when he came out, you could tell we just weren't getting boards the same. So I'm honestly pretty pleased with him in this game. And we saw, of course, last season with the injuries, he was able to step in and start like 16 games. So Miles McBride was good in this game. Not from a statistical point, but just defensively, his like effort isn't going to show in the stat sheet. And he was in on that 4-guard Achua rotation that sort of won us this game because it looked like we were going to blow a 26-point lead, and then all of a sudden we were able to win the fourth quarter. I mean, we lost the third 35-22. So the fact we were able to bounce back and just find a way to win that quarter speaks a lot about this team and where we're at. And who else haven't I talked about? I think that's everyone. Yeah, I talked about everyone in the starting lineup and on the bench. So that's pretty much it. We shot 44% from 3, 48 from the field. The issue is we did have a good amount of turnovers. 15 turnovers. It's not like it's like 22 or anything like that, but we definitely want to clean that up. The Knicks are a good team at limiting the ball. We did have 6 blocks and 11 steals, so we were active defensively. But the biggest thing is we just couldn't score. And on top of that, the Sixers couldn't miss. So there was a stretch in this third quarter where just about as bad as you can get. The only reason the Knicks scored 22 was because they hit like 10 or 11 free throws in that quarter. So I'm honestly happy with where we're at. I mean, that 4-game losing streak, I don't think I made a video. Oh, no, I did actually. I made a video after the Rockets game. I saw all of those games, but it was just frustrating because it's not like, oh, the Knicks just aren't a good team. They're losing. No, we're just without 3 starting players. Like, I know you guys, the first thing that comes to your mind is we're without 2 starters, but remember, Mitchell Robinson is a starter. He's been out for like the whole season. So we're without 3 starters right now. And when we're going up against a team like the Houston Rockets, who are incredible at home, one of the best in the NBA, same thing, we're on the road against the Orlando Magic, who are overall one of the best teams. Or maybe not one of the best teams. Is that fair to say? I don't know if the Magic are necessarily one of the best teams because they're... What seed are the Magic right now? Oh, the 8th. Okay, they're not one of the best teams in the NBA, but they do have 2 very good young stars in Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. So you think they were one of the best teams the way they played us, but just a lot of these games are simply just us being overmatched, and it makes sense. Like Dallas, we were without 4 starters, Jalen Brunson. So actually, weren't we without... Or Dante. No, Dante played in that game. Yeah, he had 30... Or what did Dante... Dante had a good game. Yeah, he had 36 in that one. So we were without 4 starters. So, like, these losses are simply coming down to lack of depth. But I think if we can get a fully healthy Knicks team come playoff time, we can beat anyone. Best case scenario would be getting Mitchell Robinson back, because if we need to go big, we can. If we need to go small with pressure at the 5, we can. I mean, a rotation of Achua, Sims, Hartenstein, and Mitch would be really good. But I think the biggest difference between us now versus us then is the shot creators, the guy that can put the ball in the hoop. Alec Burks, Bogdanovic, DiVincenzo, those 3 guys specifically, if we had them against Miami, we would have won that series. There's no question about it. And that's with Randle struggling. Imagine if Julius Randle is even remotely close to what he's been in the past 2 regular seasons. So I feel very confident with where we're at and our ability. Can't stress it enough. And yeah, I'm happy with the Knicks. Right now, we're 34-22, which is, like 2.5 games behind the Bucks. So the goal is to get to the 3 seed. Yeah, the goal is to get to the 3 seed. Obviously, the 2 seed to get home court in the second round would be more important. Or, hey, let's get to the 1 seed, but we're 10 games out of that, so it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I feel very good, man. Anything can happen.